Hello guys, we are here with another video of She Friend Zone My Love. In the previous video, you saw after cancelling the movie plan, Apurva dropped Amira to her house. Amira had become a thriller and Apurva never knew what was coming next. Keep listening to know what happens next. Follow your brain, the heart is an idiot. Any relationship works best when the people in it grow better in each other's company. Ritvik, Sia, and Apurva's bond kept on growing stronger as they spent more time together. Sia got so much attention and she was enjoying her new phase of life. And good thing was that all three of them were shortlisted for the play and had to give final audition. Apurva submitted his write-up and left early as it was his mom's birthday. After audition, Ritvik asked if they could go to grab some food at Grovel's. Real intention of Ritvik was that he wanted to confess about the lab incident, but he didn't want her to get sad. On the way to the hotel, they spoke about each other, and as soon as they reached the restaurant, they took a seat and some snacks. Ritvik was nervous, but he had made up his mind to tell Sia everything. Ritvik asked her, "Do you remember chemistry lab incident?" Sia replied, "Yeah, of course." Ritvik said that he had drawn her drawing on the board, but his intention was to make her realize how beautiful she was. He apologized, but Sia kept her silence for a few minutes and then busted with tears in her eyes. Ritvik felt tremendous guilt, but he said Apurva and Sia were the only ones that he had and he did not want to lose them. Although Sia knew that Ritvik's intentions were pure, she was angry and felt broken. Sia left the place and with her each steps, Ritvik felt as if a part of him was going away from him, something that he had never felt before. He immediately texted her about how sorry he was for what he had done. Sia was already on the way home when she saw his text. She asked her to give her some space and then he did so. Later in the college, Apurva sees Sia sitting alone, so he reaches her and asks her if there was anything troubling her. She opens up and says him everything that had happened the previous afternoon. Apurva said her everything that had happened in the lab and he said it wasn't Ritvik's fault at all. Sia felt guilty for overreacting and then Ritvik comes to meet them and apologized again by giving her Hershey's chocolate as he had seen her eating chocolates in her latest Instagram video. They hugged each other and their friendship was no less than that of from the movie Three Idiots. Then they all moved to seminar room because they were summoned for the results of the play auditions and it was no surprise that all three of them were selected. Apurva was selected for write-up, Ritvik and Sia for voiceover artist, and surprisingly Amira was the female lead. And looking at Sia, she directly walked up to her and like always, she had her spell on Apurva as he started to babble again that he loved her. As Amira walked away, he requested Sia to say about his feelings to Amira as she already knew her very well. But she denied to do so and Sia walked away. Ritvik noticed that Sia was a bit sad, so he followed her and Apurva on the other hand stood there staring cluelessly at Amira like he used to do with his homework. And just like his homework, she was a mystery to him. Amira walked up to him and asked him, "Where is Sia?" Apurva loved every word she spoke and sarcastically answered, "I think she wanted to give us privacy. You know, just you and me." All Amira could do was make an ugly face. As they walked out of the hall, Amira asked him, had Apurva broken up recently? As he was a writer and according to her, people wrote to deal their frustration. Apurva said that it can also be vice versa and he may be writing to find love. Apurva then asked if she was interested in reading some of his work and Amira said, "Ha, sure," very casually. Apurva then asked for her WhatsApp number so that he could send her writings. Amira then asked if it was a new trick to get girls' number. Apurva denied and said that he was trying to be polite or else he would have got it from Sia. Amira was stunned and she felt like there was something enigmatic about him. something magnetic that she couldn't resist. His mysterious looks reflected a profound innocence of which even he was unaware. When Amira gave him her number, he felt like he was transported to another galaxy, as it had happened in the blink of an eye. Love is complicated stuff, and you just have to wait patiently for someone special to come your way and make you happy. Don't mess with my BFF. Sia asked Apurva if he was stalking Amira. Apurva smiled and said that he was just conducting research on her. As they were speaking, Ritvik enjoyed it from sidelines. Sia seemed a bit jealous, but she only wanted her friends to love her more. After all, Apurva was the guy who had made her feel better about herself. It was Apurva's first time in chemistry class, and Professor stared at him as he entered. Amira followed him as it was her first time too. However, this time she was dressed in salwar kurta. Once the class started and everyone was busy following the procedures from the book, Apurva, on the other hand, was busy in admiring Amira's beauty. He texted Amira and told her that he was relieved for the first time as he need not check her last scene. She replied him with emoji. What Apurva loved about chemistry class was that he could spend time with Amira. Sia saw those stealing glances at each other. Sia texted him and said to concentrate on test tubes. Still texting Amira, he replied Sia and asked if they could ditch maths class and go to movie. Sia started burning with anger. Apurva realized what he had done and started laughing. Sia too joined in. Then Apurva created a WhatsApp group of 4 and made a plan for a movie. Everyone agreed. They decided they would take a cab, and Amira was about to book the cab when she got a call and she excused herself. Taking advantage of the situation, Apurva requested Sia to sit in the front seat. Sia felt alone again and Ritvik sensed it, so he said that he would sit on the front seat. Amira returned and she said she had forgotten that it was her sister's birthday and she wouldn't be able to join them. Sia busted out that how could she forget her sister's birthday. Amira said to trust her, and she had no idea about forgetting this. Tickets were already booked and Sia felt her thoughts about Amira were right. Apurva broke the awkward silence and said that he would drop Amira on his Vespa. Sia felt bad as Apurva had dropped out suddenly. In the midst of this, Ritvik was the only person who was happy because he could get some alone time to spend with Sia. Even after they had left, Sia continued to bitch about Amira, but Ritvik was prudent not to say anything. Sia suggested it would be a bad idea to cancel their plan because of someone else, and Ritvik agreed. Ritvik bought popcorn for himself and samosa for Sia. She asked him if he ever had a girlfriend. Ritvik said that he used to like a girl when he was in 9th grade, but she hooked up with someone else. Sia held his hand casually, and he got an adrenaline rush the moment she held his hand. She said Apurva and Ritvik were like Jai and Viru in her life, and without them she would be like Thakur in Sholay. Amira apologized as they drove towards her house. Apurva said that it was no less than a movie for him as she was the first girl to sit on his Vespa. She pinched him and they looked at each other shyingly. Seconds later, she took him by surprise and wrapped her arms around him. She rested her chin on his shoulder, driving him crazy, but everything felt just right. He dropped her and returned home. When he got a message from her that she had reached home, Apurva was still blushing, thinking about the moments with her. Your first love stays with you forever. Apurva then compiled all his writing and sent it to her. He expressed his every feeling about her indirectly through those writings. Amira soon replied him that she was completely lost in those words, but Apurva felt sad because he expected something more than a one-line response. Apurva felt like he was submerged in her love. He wanted her to be his romantic novel, to allow him to turn the pages to know the depth of her thoughts, but she happened to be a thriller. always keeping him on the edge and haunting him because he never knew what was coming next. Thank you for hearing us. Make sure you subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for latest upcoming videos. Thank you.